If you are Jamaican anywhere in the world, answer this question. Have you ever experienced racism? When I have racism in Jamaica, we have classism in Jamaica. But living outside of the country come with different advantages or disadvantages. I'm going to answer first. I will go first. Now, I live in America. I live in North Carolina to be exact. And me used to work in a more country or more rural part of North Carolina. I used to work there for 4 years. I used to manage a store. I used to work down there for 4 years. And in the 4 years, I've been pulled over about 10 times. I only get a ticket one time. Now, as a Jamaican, you might have said, yo, you're lucky, dog, you're lucky. But if you live in America long enough, you understand the messaging in that. You understand what that means. Because here's the thing. When them see you in America, them don't know if you're Jamaican or you're American, them just know say you're black. That first thing them say, you are black. And you drive a car in a place where it's most white people. So most time they stop me. Sometimes they ask me for license or ask me where me I go, why me in the area. They might ask you that. They will ask you why you're there, where you're there. And what reason you have for there. That is how it works. And also, I've been called the N-word before. You see me, I said, I'm not really business. I'm going to come from here that really do nothing to me. But yeah, I've experienced racism in America before. So if you have, drop in the comments, let me know what, whatever your experience was. Make sure you follow me. Come on.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Tim Tesi. For the first time, if you have come across my video, remember to subscribe, like, and also comment. For my returning viewers, thank you so much for your love and your support you are showing me in this channel. Greetings to my people, to Jamaica. I love you so much. I love you so much. So guys, in today's video, I want us to watch this video about the colorism in Jamaica, because so many people are confusing between racism and colorism. Most people, they come out and say that Jamaica is so racist. Others came out and said, no, Jamaica has no racism. The one that is Jamaica is the colorism. So kindly guys, let's watch this video until the end, and then I'll come back with more reaction.
Is colorist without saying someone is colorist.
Okay. It's my turn. So if you don't know, I'm 100% Jamaican and I'm Afro-Jamaican. Like, I'm not mixed with anything. I'm 100% black, blackity black, fluorescent black. I'm black, okay? Everybody in my family is around my skin tone, or a little bit darker, a little bit lighter, whatever. But I have this one aunt who came out like really light skin, but she would still bleach her skin. And I don't know why she would bleach her skin. And also too, in Jamaica, bleaching your skin is a thing. Like, everybody bleaches their skin. And this aunt convinced a lot of people in my family to bleach their skin, like my mom, my cousins, whatever. So from the ages of 12 to 14, I had really bad skin. I had cystic acne and I had like horrible skin. I had spots all over my face and I was desperate to try anything to get rid of my acne. I was so desperate to get rid of my acne back then. Like, if you were to tell me to rub cat piss on my face to help me get rid of my acne, I probably would have done it. So one day my aunt came to me and she was like, you should try this product, which was bleaching cream. I was just like, why am I going to try this? And she was like, oh, try it because it's going to help get rid of your black spots and your acne. I promise you. As I said, I was desperate. I was like, okay, it's going to help me get rid of my black spots on my face and I'm going to look better. Then why not? So for the next couple of weeks, I started rubbing this product on my face and my skin got really light. And honestly, I look ridiculous because my face was really, really light skin and the rest of my body was dark skin. People were coming up to me asking me what's wrong with me. I look horrible. Am I sick? Okay, it was really bad. So this is what I looked like. It was really bad. And this is what I looked like before I started bleaching. So I told my parents, I'm going to stop bleaching because I don't like it. But around this time, my aunt ended up seeing me and my aunt was like, oh my God, you look amazing. She was like, you look so good. Your skin looks so light skin and you look so good. She was just praising me. She was the only person praising me. It was so weird. She was telling me to put it on my neck and continue to use it. I'm like, girl, what? No, I look ridiculous.
We have to talk about colorism in the Caribbean, and I can firsthand speak about it in Jamaica because I know there are some Jamaicans who look down on people because they are darker skinned, which is just insane to me. And let me give you guys a perfect example. I remember I had someone ask me what color I want Gina to be, like what if I want her to have my eyes, whatever, you know. And I said to them that the only thing I want her to have is cool, dark, a nice cool brown dark complexion. That's all I want. And the person was like, what? Why would you want that? And I'm like, what do you mean, why wouldn't I want that? I remember when I did that video on social media stating that when I saw Gina, when I saw Gina for the first time as a baby and I saw that she was looking white, I was so disappointed until I picked her up and checked her ear and saw that her skin is going to have a nice cool brown complexion. And people in the comments was asking me, why would I say that? That is so weird, because I want my child to be darker skin. And that just blows my mind. I know it doesn't only happen in Jamaica, it happens in different Caribbean islands as well. And to me, we need to have these conversations more, because I've seen where when somebody's in an argument, and say for instance the other person is darker skin, that's the first thing they're coming after. Oh, you're black and ugly like tar. You get me, I say? And we need to break from those stuff, because it's honestly sad. It can honestly mess with people's confidence, and that is what sometimes stems people to bleach, right? Yeah, this is a whole conversation. No one will come near me up in the comments, but I don't care. It's just the truth.
So a group of people went to Jamaica, and I'm not sure what race is it, but you can take your guess if you want to. And they built a hotel, and they said that no black people weren't allowed, even though they're building it in Jamaica. I'm sorry? Yes, even though it was in Jamaica. So let me guess. So, thank you. So what they did, the Jamaicans, they burned the hotel down to the ground. They burned it down to the ground.
Some comments people saying that people in Argentina are racist, and before me could have come out and come out the door, it's a plane full of Jamaican that just land. About business I look for Uber, me hear one woman a chat patois. So I don't know about one, but we ain't got no racist problem down here. People not care about you. They don't care. Them not even stay upon you. People just talk about them business. Them honestly not care. Down in Ushuaia, which is a smaller town, which you'd expect it from small towns that are not used to seeing black people. They may we tell them so Jamaican, all they want to talk about are Usain Bolt and Shirley and Fraser and the rest of people. They can't even talk English good, and them talk about Jamaica run fast, wrap it up, and I show we say we're strong and them. Some people don't care about we. When I make something will happen like 20, 40 years ago, I'm not saying that it didn't happen, I'm just saying like that's not the reality today.
I just saw a video from Virgo and his wife talking about a recent experience they've had with a specific business. Basically, Elizabeth, I think that's her name, Remain's Virgo wife. I'm sorry if it's not. But she was looking at a place to have her baby shower because she didn't have a baby shower with her first child. So she was like, you know what, let me go all out with the second. They had a venue in mind, but they wanted some drapes to kind of put in, I don't know if it's a restaurant, but they want some drapes to kind of separate their area where they're going to stay, just for a little privacy. A request was made to the owner. Basically, the owner went ballistic. The owner said that not only will they not accommodate this, but they've had more people who spend more money than Romain Virgo and his wife, and they've never made this request. So how dare they? Basically, that's how I think he or she sounded on the phone. How dare you make this request? You don't really have that much money. And it got me thinking, it does not matter how much money you make in this country or how well known you are. There are just some places that you will never belong. There's some people that will never think that you are as good as them or you deserve to be at the same table as them. It's funny because you have Jamaicans out there that are defending these type of people, and these people won't even give you their dog's leftover. Like, they don't see you as anything but a dollar sign, and you defend them. You support them. You laugh. You kiki with them. You haha with them. I don't know if it's like Stockholm syndrome, or I don't know if it's the way that people want to belong. But you have to be aware of who you're supporting. And to that business owner, it's given never see come see, because apparently he or she started name dropping about how many persons or the type of people in business or whatever that's been to their establishment. Frightened? That you must frighten. Anybody who start name dropping in a conversation, I'm like, okay, this person is not used to anything. I'm just really sorry it happened to them. But it's just a reminder to us that it really don't matter how successful you are. Some people will just never accept you, and that is fine. Go where you're accepted and go where you're treated right.
Thank you for this comment, because the intersection of classism, racism, and colorism in Jamaica is a much needed topic. And one of the things that I learned when I started looking into the history of all this is that integral to the whole concept of Jamaica's development post-colonialism was that we not talk about it. Do you understand? It was conditioned. It was a condition conditioning of the people to not discuss this. All the research on race in Jamaica talk about this silent topic that everyone knows, like everyone knows that this is happening and no one talks about it. And that's why anytime the issue comes up, you will see a whole bunch of people say, this has nothing to do with racism. This is an American thing. We have classism, yes. We have colorism, yes. But there's no racism here. A bunch of people are running up and are not understanding the intersectionality that is going on. Classism, racism, and colorism are intertwined in Jamaica. One does not exist without the other. And they are all the children of white supremacy. They are all born out of white supremacist culture that was handed down to us through colonialism. It took the United States more than 150 years after independence to have its racial reckoning with the civil rights movement in the 1960s. Jamaica has not yet had its racial reckoning. We have not yet gotten to the point where the majority of the people who are being marginalized, the people who are being denied access to the resources of the country they call home, the people who every day are subjected to the ills of racism, classism, and colorism in Jamaica. We have not yet gotten to the point where these people en masse are prepared to stand up for their rights against the minority non-black elite. But I strongly believe that a racial reckoning will happen in Jamaica. It may not happen in my lifetime, but it has to happen because only for so long will a peoples endure oppression. And I believe we are still being oppressed. And just as African Americans stood up in the 1960s and said enough is enough, I firmly believe that this day of reckoning will come to Jamaicans one day.
Colorism is something diasporic wide that we haven't really addressed, but because I'm Jamaican, I'm going to speak about it in a Jamaican context. One of the best indicators of colorism globally is the percentage of people within that community that engages in skin bleaching, and we know where Jamaica is on that. The mistake we make in this approach is starting with our personal opinions on bleaching. You see, human beings modify themselves based on messages being transmitted within that society. And whether you want to believe it or not, there are perceived and actual advantages of being light-skinned in Jamaica. Let's stop right just again for reminding you, because someone with turban, it's not about your personal opinion on bleaching, it's the message that is being sent. Though we are majority black and ugly as a concept is as Jamaican as Aki and Sawfish, and that is sad. And if you're brown and pretty and go missing, your post will get shared more than somebody with a darker complexion. Now, this post isn't for your reductive opinion on what you think about skin complexion. It's to engage in a conversation about changing the message.
To be honest, I never experienced racism in Jamaica all the years I was living there. I say, it didn't even cross my mind. Like, when I was little and when my mother car back, I was driving down the hill and a little girl or a little boy yelled out to me, "White girl!" It just come in like a pet name to me. And to be honest, that's how it always was. And when I get big now, and I have my own car, and I get like a flat tire, I'm dip on the side of the road and come out of the car, gone in the trunk, come here, look out, look for the jack. And by the time me open the car back, me just see one or two cars stop. And them offering to help me, and before me know it, two tools and fix up the tire and me go about the business. And just Jamaican people, they're warm, friendly, and full of joke. And the next thing I remember now too is nobody no go by them name and them birth certificate. Nobody at all. Them go by alias all the while. So, like I remember some name. One of them is Fat Man, and him doing fat, And next one, Germs. And next one, Pressure Foot, and Pinchers, and Dog Heart. You name it, they come up with some name. And if you ever hear the story of how the name stick on them, you're dead with laugh.
If it was one thing that I could change about Jamaicans is the colorist and color shock mindset. Yeah, because I remember one time when I was in Jamaica a few years back and I was out in the sun, and I remember adults telling me to stay out of the sun because I was getting too dark. And not only that,
as someone who's brown skinned, when I was in Jamaica, the girls were saying I was the darkest they would go for. So sometimes, like when you're benefiting from all this stuff, you need to make sure to call it out and try to dismantle the colorist mindset.
I used to love my grandmother back in them days. She used to say some real effed up stuff sometime. One time we just in the front room, minding our own business, watching the TV, Nickelodeon, cable, London, my love. And my grandmother just put out the paper and she turned to me and she just said to me, you know what I noticed about Marcus? He not get the good quality complexion like the rest of him family. And I was like, what are you talking about, Mom? No, you not get the good quality and the high color like the Depars them. And that me notice. And I was like, right. These times I was like 11 years old and my grandmother just more or less told me that I was ugly and I didn't get the good complexion like my father and people them, because my father people them, you know, them have them brown skin, red skin people and all of them sort of something that she know from a long time in Jamaica, my love. When she even know the family from when she had picked me. So for her to have a grandchild now in the future that is a part of that same said family, and my light skinness wasn't as brown and red as them, it was something that just alerted to her suddenly out of nowhere in the front room that day. But it wasn't the first time she actually come up with that. She come up with them things there more than one time. Like at the time she would say like my auntie them or my uncle them from my father's side or whatever. She said, Marcus, I couldn't believe her. When me see her auntie, you see, me just look pan her up and down. Look here. The woman probably I wonder why me I look pan her such have a lovely complexion. Bono no nose. Woman good quality. Yes. Them like any of them, she'll come up with all kinds of rubbish and these kinds of things. But you know what? It's a time and the place and the context to which some of these people come from, and it's a throwback to these dirty, stinking colonial people. So although she was the mouthpiece for these things, I understand that she was puppeted through a series, through a historical experience of racism, colorism, where white people spent centuries devising this idea that the darker you are, the worse you are, the more disgusting you are. You know, the Willie Lynch syndrome. You know, here you are in a place like Jamaica where at any one time the enslaved population were the majority, you get me? So if they didn't want to just lift up the place and mash down the people in Armenia like Haiti, they could have done so. So it was very important for them, you know, to integrate certain tensions and challenges amongst the enslaved population. And one of those things were, you know, set the men against the women against the men, the old against the young against the old, and then also create divisions within the color bar. So to create these fake tensions that really don't exist. So our attention is so focused on one another, right? That I am in the field, but I really want to move up to the house for Massa, but I'm not forget to have Massa do the wall of this and the wall we pop down in this. So here comes post-enslavement or whatever, you just have this historical reference of colorism. And then obviously that would have been seen even regard to money-wise, you know, biracial, you know, enslaved people, the many Scottish enslavers that had children with their enslaved women, they would never take parental responsibility over the people them, but they would send them down to England for educate themselves. So of course, even just in the physical landscape, you had a coloured freed class, right? I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I don't have it in front of me, there was a guy called Dr. Love. Someone correct me in the comments. I think his name is Dr. Love, and he was one of the first created a newspaper in Jamaica, part of those the free coloured communities or whatever. So a whole heap of them, I love. When I'm calling colored is brown skin, light skin. So light skin almost became a symbol of prosperity, right? That to prosper out of this disaster that I'm in, it represented something else. So here you get 40, 50 years later, where my grandmother would then turn to me and say, and I get the good quality like your family. Well, people, I'm here to tell you that we're filled with quality in our real life. And you know that one time my uncle must have said at the dinner table, it just perplexes me to know that I have this complexion, for know what these people did. You understand? I can't even actually really tell you what the man said because it wouldn't be appropriate for TikTok. But basically, he was questioning the way in which how he became the complexion that he is, and therefore that just disgusted him. But he used a very few choice words about the people in question, the Bakra. He might talk about the Bakra.
Hello guys, welcome back. Hope we have watched a full clip about how really people came out and viewed the colorism and reaction towards the colorism, because colorism has been a trending topic across over the Jamaica, across over all over the internet. Just people come out and they just want to understand what is the meaning of colorism, because Jamaica is all about colorism, but not about uh, racism, because the words came out and said that Jamaica is so racist because they normally used a Patos language, and this shows that Jamaica is so racist. And we know that the Patos language is the language that mostly used across all over the world, and people just love their Patos language. And people speaking Patos language being the popular in Jamaica is not mean that Jamaica is so racist. Jamaica just tried out and have their own language, and this language is in Jamaican's culture, because Patos language normally used by the reggae musics and the rhythms. Most those vibes were used in Patos language, and that's why that language, it's same language that being used in Nigeria, like Igbo language, and that's why people just starting complaining and said racist Jamaica are so racist. The other ones came out and said that the motto of Jamaica, out of many one people, means that that motto is a racist. This is not a racist, it's a motto, it's out of many one people. That means that Jamaica being many other countries or other Caribbean, but Jamaica is only the one. That does not mean the colorism is not the racism. And things that now in Jamaica is the colorism, because we have see how whites also living in Jamaica, and they are called the Jamaicans. So that is the colorism, but not a racism. We have also seen Chinese living in Jamaica, staying in Jamaica for so long time, doing businesses in Jamaica, because when now you go to Jamaica, a lot of businesses being done by the Chinese. So that is what we call the Chinese Jamaicans. That is a colorism. Another person is the Arabs. Arabs also doing the Irish also doing the businesses in Jamaica. They have dominated Jamaica for so long, and that's what I call it the colorism. That is not the racism. And so other accents are just in Jamaica. We have also witnessed how even the other countries, because Jamaica is the welcoming countries. When you go to maybe churches, Jamaica is the leading in terms of churches, because every 2.75 miles you find a church. We have the Hinduism, we have the Rastafaris, we have the Christian, we have the Muslim. That means that Jamaica is the country that accommodate each and everybody. We have also seen the whites. Even you have seen that white lady. She's old, but she has stayed in Jamaica the whole life. That's what I call it the colorism, but not a racism. And the country that is this the West country that came out and they started want to plant the lies against the Jamaica, that Jamaica is so racist. And Jamaica is not the racist. Jamaica is the country that most loved across all over the world, and the country that each and every accent is there. Even you can also cook and Jamaica and look how really dominated by other colors, not only blacks, but because of the majority of Jamaicans are black in color. So most of people think that Jamaica is the racism, but not the racism. It is the colorism that is in Jamaica, which is so confusing each and everybody. But we have seen that guy said when he grew up, her mother told about the colorism in Jamaica. So that is the way Jamaica is now have. It has no colorism. As I conclude, Jamaica is a country that is so many superior country across all over the world, and being loved by each and every person because of that culture, because Jamaica has the best culture. When you come in reggae music, and those other culture are the giants. So Jamaica being the giants of the world, it we might be giving it a respect, because going out and say the lies against Jamaica is not good. You must stand up, and if you are just planning to join Jamaica, just go to Jamaica and witness yourself, but not sit down and listen the lies that is being planted by the worst people, because racist and colorism is being planted by the West people, and we know who is the who is the we know who is the who is the racist. West country is the most racist country across all over the world. We have witnessed our own Jamaicans being beaten in streets, being racist in streets by the West people, and we haven't complained. And this is why now I come out and rest my case that Jamaica, being the only country left across the world, is also the capital of the world. That's why I can declare Jamaica to be the capital of the world. Thank you so much for watching me. I'm your host, Tim Tezi. Kindly, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe, like, share, and also comment this channel. Bye for now. See you next.